one is going out to Barco, Te Mokoha, Jaden Webb Milner, Blessing Tato, and Monica Hope. You guys rock. Alright guys, so we're starting out on our 5th fret, barring the 5th fret, all of the strings except for our low E string with our first finger, okay? Then we're going to add our little finger to the 7th fret of your B string or your 2nd string, like so. Middle finger is going to go to the 6th fret of your G string, the G string on the guitar, not the one on your butt. And then your ring finger is going to go to the 7th fret of your D string, okay? And that is our D major 7th chord, like so. Okay, so we're going to pluck each chord twice and then slap. So to pluck it, we're going to use our thumb to play the bass notes, in this case, the 5th fret of our A string, that D note, okay? And then we're going to use our 3 fingers here to pluck this high, to pluck our B string, G string, and D strings, okay? Like that. You could hit the high E if you wanted and move those fingers up, it's up to you. Like that. Okay, so we're going to play 1, slap, 2, slap, okay? So again, 1, slap, 2, and slap. Okay, so 1 and slap. Next is we're going to play a D9 with an A bass chord. To do that, you just simply need 1 finger to bar the 5th fret, all of the strings, and then you move your bass from plucking the 5th string to plucking the lower string now. Okay, like so. Okay, so far we have D major 7, same pattern for the D9 slash A bass. Then our 3rd chord, so far so good, right? Super simple. Our 3rd chord is a G major 7 chord. Now, I'm going to play it like this, but I'm going to show you a few ways that you could play the shape. This might be a new shape for you guys. So to do this, I'm going to suggest using your first finger on the 2nd fret of your highest string, then your middle finger on the 3rd fret. The next string up is the 4th fret, and lastly is the 5th. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a stairway to heaven. Just kidding, that song's illegal. Like so. And then if you're able to, reach over with your thumb to play this bass note on the 3rd fret of your lower string. That's the ideal way to play this G major 7 chord, but I acknowledge that it is quite tricky, and if you have a guitar that is a wider necked guitar, that's going to be possibly very difficult. So another way you could play this is as an open shape, using your first finger on the 2nd fret, still, your 3rd finger, okay, your ring finger on the 2nd fret of your, on your 3rd fret of your 2nd string. So far you got 2, 3, and then your middle finger, that one right there, is going to go to the 3rd fret of your lower string. Okay, G major 7. Okay, so again, I mean, there's so many ways you can play this G major 7, but again, ideally you want to use the shape that I've shown you. You don't have to use your little finger if you don't want to put your little finger down. So those 3 strings and then your bass note is perfect. But failing that, this open chord is an option. And then my last chord, because you know how I wrote the song, is a C9 chord. So again, just barring the 3rd fret, all of the strings except for the low E, and this is your bass note. Like so. Okay, so let's put it all together. D major 7, D9 with an A bass, G major 7, C9. Okay, so that's the whole song except for our if you love me, what you say? Okay, that part, cool singing, is going to be the same chord, so pretty much, but there's a slight change. So we're going to go G major 7, and then instead of going to our C9 straight away, we're going to play a B flat chord. Okay, and then into this. Okay, so to play this B flat chord, you're going to bar the 1st fret, all the strings except for the low E, and then you're also going to bar the 3rd fret of your B, G, and D strings. Like that. Okay? And then you slide up to your C9 chord. So in context, say something. If you love me, won't you? I don't know, sorry, no. If you love me, won't you? Not a huge difference, but a difference nonetheless. Now I'm going to show you how to play the whole song for beginners using just 1 finger, okay? So let's get this party started. It's going to be very easy. So the first chord is a D major 7, and we're going to play that just by lying our finger across the higher strings of the 2nd fret. Okay, so on the E string, B string, and G string of the guitar, not the one in your butt. And then this open D bass, okay, open 4th string. Okay, so you're going to pluck using your thumb on the bass note, and then these 3 fingers are going to pluck a string each, G string, B string, D string. Okay, so that's our plucking pattern. We're going to go pluck, slap, pluck, and stop. Okay, so again, pluck, slap, pluck, stop. All right, so that's our first chord, pluck. Next chord is a D9 with an A bass. So to do this, you're going to bar the 5th fret, all of the strings, and this time our thumb is going to play the lowest string as our bass note. Okay. Okay, so far we've got 2nd fret, and then we've got our 5th fret, all the strings. This next one is a real cheat. Now that we're going to try and play a G major 7 chord with 1 finger. We're cheating here. So just play the 2nd fret of your highest string. Okay, because I said you could do it with 1 finger. Okay, so this one you're only going to pluck the 3 highest strings. G major 7. Now, that's our 3rd chord, but it doesn't sound the best that it could. So if you'll forgive me and say use your middle finger as well on our 3rd fret of our B string, then we're in business and it sounds a lot better. Okay? So if you forgive me for saying it's 1 finger and you want to add a 2nd finger to make it sound a bit better, let's do that. Okay, so 2nd fret highest string, 3rd fret of the next string up. And you're only plucking these 3 strings. Okay, now if you're like, that's easy, that's cool, okay, add a 3rd finger then to make it sound even better, which is your middle finger to play this bass note on the 3rd fret. Oh wow, and all of a sudden it really opens up because we've got that bass continuing. Okay, but if you are a complete beginner, you can just totally play this and that works as well. Hey, it looks like your hands are getting tired there. Why not take a quick break, scroll on down to that subscribe button, click it, and then your hand will be ready to play again. Amazing. So far we've got our D major 7, 2nd fret, 5th fret, all the strings, G major 7, however you decided to play that, and then our last chord is a C9 chord, so you just bar the 3rd fret, all the strings except for the low E, and you're going to pluck this 5th string as the bass. There we go, and that's the whole song. 2nd fret, the highest 3 strings, 5th fret, all the strings, 2nd fret, just 1 string, and then C9, 3rd fret. Boom! I told you it could be played with 1 finger, and you didn't believe me. You can pay me back by hitting subscribe right now. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to check out another tutorial, click that box up there. Otherwise, hit that circle button to subscribe. We release new tutorials every Monday and Friday, 7 PM New Zealand time. God bless and we'll see you again.